Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. It's been a little while since I posted a video. Sorry about that. I had a little mishap. I'll show you what happened here. So this snowblower here, it's a Yard Machines Gold. It's from 2004. This is my dad's. He said it was running really funny, and it was smoking a lot. So I said, you probably got bad rings. Now, on these Tecumsehs, compression's hard because they have a compression release. Normally you want around 60 pounds. That's really low, I know, but that's because it has a compression release. His was reading below that, like 30 or 40 pounds, his engine. So I took it apart, I did the rings on it, and when I put it back together, it had it had an intermediate connecting rod knock, which was bad news. So I thought, that's not ideal. I just spent 60 bucks on rings and gaskets, and now there's a rod knock. So I must have done something wrong. So I take it back apart, and I put a new rod in. I torque down correctly, start it back up, it runs fine. Start it back up next time. There's the rod knock. So I thought to myself, you know what? I am done with that engine. And what I did is I went and bought a 10 horsepower Yard Machines engine. That's how you can see it's the yellow, the gold logo up there, and it's the regular Yard Machines logo here. That's because it's not the original engine. It's because I'm not sure if I goofed up on something or if something went wrong with the assembly. I don't know. But it's a little messy in here right now, but I'm not sure if you can see. There's the old engine over there, the Tecumseh engine. That's the old one. I'm sure it still runs, but that was an 8.5 horsepower. That's the one with the rod knock. I'm sure if I were to go start it, I'm not going to start it now. I doubt there's any gas in it. But, I have the new engine on there. It's a little more powerful. He used it once, and he said it works fine. So that was my drama of the month. But now that that's gone, I want to keep busy. So, sitting back in my pile of junk, I had this Craftsman snowblower here. This Craftsman lawn mower here. I actually have two of them. Very, very similar. One of them does not have a carburetor or a muffler, though. So I'm going to have to find something someday. Maybe I'll find a muffler for it or something, and a carburetor. But this one does have a carburetor and a muffler, so I thought, you know what, let's work on it. So I went to go check for spark. No spark. So I unplugged the coil wire, checked for spark again. No spark. So I went into my pile of junk parts, and I found a Tecumseh 5 horsepower snowblower coil. And I thought, it looks quite similar, so I might as well try it. I put it on. There's spark again. So, yeah, it starts and dies now, but I'm sure that carburetor is going to be one heck of a mess, seeing as this thing's been sitting for a while. At least over a year in my possession, and probably more than that in somebody else's. As you could see, there's a bunch of leaves around it. It's been sitting for a little while. Now, I'm going to take the carburetor off, rebuild it, and show you how to do it and, what's all about it. I just realized I had my wire here. I didn't know if I was blocking your shot. Sorry about that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the air filter out of the way. I popped the air filter off earlier. It's nasty. Do I want to try to clean it? Probably not. I'm probably just going to throw it in the garbage and order a new one. But for now, I'm going to set it aside in case, I want to run it for now, later. I guess from here, I can just go ahead and dismount the carburetor. So these I don't know if you've ever heard of them, they're called Keps nuts. I just discovered this on my previous snowblower job I was telling you about. The Keps nuts, what they do is, normally when you tighten bolts and nuts together, the nut will spin unless you hold it with a wrench. It actually tightens, right? But with the Keps nut, it holds itself in place. So all you have to do is tighten this with a wrench. This one holds itself in place, so you don't even have to hold it with a wrench. So those Keps nuts are really helpful. I actually did not know about those up until a few days ago. I'm just going to take that off, and that should come off by hand after that. Wrong size. There we go. Impact driver. Oh, I need an extension. This is the longest one I could find. Seems to work okay. You see that? The nut spun a little bit, but it came right off. Keps nut. Now I have to go get to the other side. How am I going to do that? I don't know. That's a good question. I might take the muffler off to get to this bolt back here. That just takes 2 bolts here. It looks like maybe 7/16. So if we pop the muffler off, there we go. And that gives us easy access to our bolt back here. Again, 3/8. Just get it back there. All I had to do was loosen it and the nut pops off. Amazing. Okay, so one thing you want to note here is your governor adjustment is on here. Make sure you don't bend that at all, because you could get that out of adjustment, and that won't be good. If you bend this little tab here, I won't be able to show you, but it's in here. There we go. If you bend that tab, then your engine RPMs will either increase, which it could throw your rod, or decrease, which could give you no power. So don't mess with that. I'm going to pop the crankcase vent hose off. It's at the top of the carb. There we go. Our carb dismounted because our 2 nuts and bolts are out. And now we have the linkage up here. So remember which hole your linkage goes into. It's different for every machine. Looks like mine's right here. I'm probably going to forget, so I'm going to have to rewatch this later. There we go. I'm just going to leave that hanging there. And then from here, we have our fuel line I could take off right there. So I'm going to grab a pair of pliers, pull the clamp off, then pull the fuel line off. Oh. All right, there we go. Our carburetor is off now. You could take these 2 screws out if you want to get easier access. You know, as a matter of fact, I think I will. That was easy. Looks like there's an O-ring here. Don't want to lose that. And then, if I'm not mistaken, this is your priming hose. One of these two. I don't know. Now, we're going to go... ooh, that's sticky. Holy smokes. Yeah, that's sticky. Anyways, we're going to go over to the... We're going to go over to the bench now and service this Tecumseh carburetor. I'll show you how to do that. It's not that difficult. Most people could do it. Take a guess where we're going. To the bench. Alright, welcome to the world's messiest bench. I'm not going to show you anything over here because it's very messy. I don't know if you saw earlier over at the lawnmower, but this carburetor was leaking gas, like a lot. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just tip the carburetor upside down, and hopefully all the gas comes out. Ooh, that's gooey. Lawnmower gas ain't supposed to be green. Yeah, that's nasty. Wasn't talking to you, Alexa. We'll have to open it up. Ooh, yeah, that smells very spoiled. So most likely I'll have to flush out the gas tank as well. Anyways, 1/2-inch nut. Gonna pull that out. Maybe. Oh, whew. That was a toughie. My guess is this carburetor is going to be very bad. I mean, that looks... Oh, the seal doesn't look okay, but... I mean, looks preserved. Oi. Oh, that was a crunch. Whew, that's very green. That's not great. That's gonna have to get cleaned. The float seems okay. Everything doesn't seem too bad. The bowl gasket does. That needs to be replaced, of course. Let's pull the pin out. Man, if you were smelling what I was smelling, oh my God. This gas is bad. Here we go. Right tool for the job. That's fine. You want to try to pull the emulsion tube out? I don't know. Sometimes I try to pull these emulsion tubes out and it doesn't go very well. We'll try. I don't know if they're supposed to come out or what. But, you know, if I can't get it out, I'm not going to touch it. I don't think I'm going to touch it. I'm just going to leave it be. Good enough. Jet. Is that clogged? Looks clogged. Alright, there. I don't know if you could see it. Let me put my hand back here. Right where my thumbnail is. Right there. You see that spot? That is the fuel hole for the jet. And then right there, fuel has to go through too. But right here. Yeah, right there. Got to clean that out. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is pop this seal off. Just pop that off of there. I'm going to keep the primer bulb on. It doesn't look too bad. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give this carb an ultrasonic clean now. Clean up all this gooky stuff. Then I'll focus on, you know, cleaning it more, getting this bowl back to normal, and rebuild it. Okay, ultrasonic cleaner. Here we are. I filled it up a little bit from last time. It was getting a little low. So, carburetor in. I gotta be careful with that primer bulb though. It shouldn't be too hot. No, it's not crazy hot yet. Alright, carburetor in. Bowl. That has to go in. Float, I'd like to put that into. Got to make sure that stays afloat. These cork floats, sometimes they get pinholes in them, and you shake them and you hear water, and you have to throw them away. They do make plastic ones, though, that you can replace them with. And our jet, I'd like to put in there. Anything else? I guess I can put the, no, I'm not going to do that. We're going to lose that. All right, that's it. That's it. Which way do I want to put this? I don't know. I'll put it like this. I don't know. Do I want it like that? We'll put it like that. All right. Top on. We'll go 47, 45 minutes. How's that? And then I like to turn the heat off while we're cooking, while it's vibrating, because it seems to clean better when the heat is off. It seems to have more power. So, we'll see you in 45 minutes. Alright, it's been 45 minutes. Let's check on our parts. The float's still floating, that's good. I'm going to have to go over this with a wire brush, but it definitely did loosen up some of the big stuff. You see how that's all crusty now, that green stuff, the spoiled fuel. We'll have to go over that with a wire brush. look at the bowl. Wow. All the green stuff is gone. Again, I'll still have to go over with a wire brush a little bit. Oh no! Look at this. Wow, that did a great job. So I don't have to do anything to this bowl. Carb spray, that's it. Wow, I'm surprised. Don't do that. Great. That went under the bench. Yeah, I'm beyond impressed with that. Wow. That looks great. And then the carburetor, that looks great too. No more goopy green stuff in here. Not really any goopy stuff. I'll just have to wipe it up a little bit and just rebuild it, really. And I forgot to mention, but the jet was also in there. That did okay. It's a little bit cleaner. I'll have to clean that out, though. Okay, so everything came off. The carburetor's really clean. The bowl's really clean. The bottom of the float's clean. That's the side that was in the ultrasonic fluid. So what I'm going to do is the dirty side, I'm just going to put right back in the ultrasonic, facing down, so that the ultrasonic actually gets that fluid then. So I'm going to, oh, not like that. I'm going to flip it around like this, and I'm going to put the top on, and the ultrasonic should get that stuff then. Maybe I'll give it about 30 minutes this time instead of 45. See where I'm at. Actually, let's start with 15. See where we're at. Alright, be back in 15 minutes. Okay, that's 15 minutes. Now we're going to see what it did. Oh yeah, pretty good. It's coming off with a paper towel now, which is good. Yeah, that's good enough for me. That's plenty fine. It's a heck of a lot better than it used to be. Alright, we're going to go back up to the bench and rebuild it. Okay, for this rebuild, I'm going to be using a Tecumseh rebuild kit. It's the 632760B. It has bowl gasket, bowl nut seals, has the Welch plug, needle and seat, and it has the little felt thing that goes on here. I'm going to have to pull this off at some point and replace that. I'm going to put a micro drill bit through this and see if it's clear. I have no idea what size I'm working with here, but we'll find out, right? Ouch. Seems to be too big. Okay, go down. There it goes. Fits in there good. Fits in there okay. Yeah, it slides right through there. Now let me go back up one. No. Oh yeah. Yep, it fits. It's stiff, but it fits. I'm gonna leave that be. I think that's good enough. Good enough for me. Okay, I'm gonna take some carb spray here and I'm just gonna spray through the jet. Then I'm gonna go blow this out real quick. Okay, now I'm gonna pull the seat out of there. To do that, I'm gonna use my Tecumseh carburetor tool, 670377. I'm gonna go ahead and use the silver end, stick it in the carburetor, pull a little bit. There you go. Your seat's out. Now I'm going to go ahead and open my rebuild kit and lay all the parts out. Alright, where's my seat? Here's my seat. I'm going to install the new seat now. The flat side, there's a flat side and a side with like a groove. The flat side goes on your tool, flush on your tool. The groove side faces up. And then you want to flip it upside down, put it in here. Put the seat in with the tool, push down, and then you want to squeeze. Sometimes I give it a little twist. Then just pull the tool out, and there you go. You got your seat in there. So the flat side should be up now. The groove side was up on the tool. The flat side's up in the unit. And now I'm going to go ahead and put my needle together. You have your little clip here and needle. You want to go ahead and slide your needle into the clip. Like that. And I'm going to take my float, put my needle under my float, and take my carburetor, put the needle in the seat hole, and line up the notches on the carburetor with the notches on the float. I have a new float pin I'm going to put in there. There you go. Works good. Now that float is sitting a little bit low. It's sitting very low. I think I'm going to adjust the float. To do that, I'm going to pull this out. This tab right here, I'm going to bend that up. There you go. And we're going to put everything back together. Now, see, that's much better. The float is almost even with the body of the carburetor. It's still facing up a little bit, but I'm sure that will go down with time. Yeah, see, even if I push down a little bit, it'll kind of even itself out. That's good enough for me. I'm going to keep it like that. Now, bowl gasket. I'm going to put that around the bowl. Sorry, I'm not going to put it around the bowl. I'm going to put it around the carburetor. I'm going to put the bowl on top of it. Now this one you do have to stretch a little bit. And then the bowl, I might as well spray that out. I didn't spray that out yet. I'll wipe it down. Yeah, it's fine. It's clean. Now, on the bowl, there's a circular part and a flat part here. That flat part you want to align with the needle and seat assembly right here. Like that. Then you want to push the bowl on. Make sure it's even. This is wrong. You don't want to like that. That's not going to go on right. You have to make sure it's even. There you go. I just pressed the bowl on there. For now, then I'm going to take my jet here. I'm going to put the appropriate sized seal on it, which I guess in my case looks to be this one, the smaller one. And I'm going to screw that jet back into the carburetor. You don't want to go crazy tight with this one because you could damage that seal, but go tight enough where you could seal that seal the bowl gasket. There you go. That's all you need. Now that carburetor is functioning correctly. If you want to, you could hook a hose up to there, blow through it, flip it upside down, and you shouldn't be able to blow through that. That's how you know your needle and seat are working. Yeah, my needle and seat's working. Works good. Now I'm going to pull out this side jet right here. I'm going to go blow through this real quick. If that wasn't clear before, it's clear now. Now, I'm actually not 100% sure how to do this, so I'm going to wing it. I'm thinking that this little brass piece goes on here, and then this O-ring here goes on after it. I'm going to hope, because I'm not sure how to do it. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it goes like that. I could be wrong, though. Then I'll just have to take it back off. We'll see. That could be for the, if this goes in funny, I'm just going to leave it off, because I don't think it goes like this. I might be thinking about the adjustable model. Yeah, that doesn't look right. I have a feeling nothing's actually supposed to go there. Because on the adjustable ones, you have this brass piece and the O-ring. There you go. I think on the non-adjustable one, since nothing came out of there, I'm thinking that nothing goes in there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. If it doesn't run, we put no ring on it, right? Alright, from here I'm going to go ahead and pop that screw off, take this off, replace that, replace the screw, I guess. Make that move good. Alright, this doesn't seem too stuck, but I'll replace that. And then this, I can replace that too. So I need a new one of these, and then a new one of these. Yeah, that should work much better now. Go ahead and wind up the tension in here. Oh, I screwed it up. Wind it again. Wind it up. Ah. My goodness. There we go. Moves real good now. Let me go ahead and put that butterfly on there. I can give that a spray. Excuse me. This one's really dirty. You could see where it was laying on the butterfly. The, whatever you want to call that. I forgot the name for everything. We'll take a new bolt with the Loctite on it. You don't want them coming loose. You don't want that being sucked into your engine. So Loctite is a good choice here. And screw this on in. No, don't do that. Alright, I didn't break anything. We're good. Alright, that butterfly moves real good now. A lot better than it used to. You could always hear it too. That's always nice. I don't think we'll need the idle jet on this because it's a lawnmower. We don't use the idle jet. Oh, I forgot to put this little black cap. This is the limiter cap. Because people don't want you messing, or Tecumseh doesn't want you messing with that jet. They put this cap on there so nobody messes with it. So nobody turns it. Nobody knows it's there. There you go. But I know it's there, and we all know it's there now because I just told you. What? I guess we gotta put this back on the engine then, huh? Now, I don't ever remember there being a gasket on there, but I just found it. It's right there. It's on the engine. And that gasket doesn't look great. I think I'm gonna replace that. I don't know. I could get away without it. I don't know. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'll put some gasket sealing compound around the carburetor, and then I'll put it on there, and that gasket sealing compound will revive that gasket. It'll make it run better. It'll make it move better. Oh, I just screwed up the linkage. Okay, there we go. I got it back together. So I'll put some gasket sealing compound around the carburetor. Let that sit for a while, and then I'll go ahead and put everything back together. So when I say gasket sealing compound, you're probably thinking, what the heck? Man, he is cheaping out. He's putting gasket maker on the carburetor instead of getting a new gasket. This is not gasket maker. This is gasket sealant. So what this is Loctite's aviation gasket sealant. Evinrude outboards. You ever hear of them? This is Evinrude's OEM gasket sealant. Evinrude will use this to seal up gaskets involving, that have to be airtight and watertight, oil tight. They'll put this around impeller housings, head gaskets, maybe carburetor gaskets. I've done that. But this stuff is meant to go along with the existing gasket and help it seal better. So I love this stuff. I've never had an air leak with using this stuff. This stuff's my favorite. It wasn't very cheap, but what are you gonna do? Again, just so everybody is 100% certain about what I just said. This is not a gasket maker. This is not a make a gasket, form a gasket type of thing. This is a sealant made for outboards, boat motors, that is meant to go along with the existing gasket to get an airtight seal, because apparently regular gaskets aren't good enough for boats. I just wanted to say that twice so that nobody got confused there. See, what I did is I just went around the gasket area. When I put the carburetor back on, it's gonna, put all that stuff in the tight areas of the gasket, and then make a real good seal. This stuff is very sticky, so I'm assuming. Oh, don't spill it. I'm assuming how it works is when it goes on the gasket, it just kind of sticks to the gasket and makes a better seal. Now this stuff I can get it off once I'm done with it. If I've taken carburetors off and saved the gasket, even with this stuff on, you can get it off. It's just sticky, so you have to be careful. Okay, so I'm going to start putting the carburetor back on now. I'm going to start with the fuel line, because in my opinion, I think that's the hardest to get on. Now that wasn't that hard. Get that clamp on. There we go. And then the linkage. I remember what hole it was in this time. Here we go. I'm going to put the closer side on first, just to secure the carburetor, and then I have to deal with that extension, the governor arm spring tensioner adjuster assembly thing. Okay, that's on. Now I get to play with this governor spring arm assembly. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tighten those bolts down now. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm still going to tighten them down moderately, though. This tab's not working. Let's see the other one. There we go. Let's see if I can do it. I can't remember how to use the wrench. There we go. Okay, good. All right. Now, I guess I can put the air filter thing on, whatever this is here. And then that O-ring that went with it, which I probably lost. Oh, here it is. Go ahead and put that in there. And then screw this in there. I think it's just, what is it, just a 1/4-inch socket or something? Alright, there we go. And then I'll put my crankcase vent hose on. There we go. And I'm going to inspect the gas tank before I do anything, like start it or anything, because, you know, the carburetor did not look great, so I'm assuming the gas tank's not going to look great. Gas tank's bone dry. Cool. I guess, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the muffler back on. I don't want to forget about that. That would be unfortunate. I don't want to scare the neighbors. Take a guess what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put some gas in it and see if it runs. I'm going to go with non-ethanol, 89 octane. That should be enough to test it. There we go. Now, I'm going to pull the mower outside and see if it starts. Alright, it is not a nice day out today. It's cold and rainy, so I'm going to make this quick. But I'm going to see if the lawnmower starts now. There's still a shroud that has to go on it, but, you know, whatever. Prime it up. See if it starts. Well, there you go. I started it, stopped it, and then started it again. Works pretty good. I'm not going to run it for too long yet because I need to do an oil change. It's a little low on oil too, so I'm going to wait to change that. But yeah, I mean, that's a successful fix. I mean, for the age of the engine, it performed pretty well. I mean, it's not going to perform brand new, but still performs pretty well. Anyways, thanks for tuning in on today's episode of Can Jonah Clean the Carburetor? And we'll see you on the next one. I'll probably be doing some more lawn equipment because springtime is coming up around the corner. I'm waiting for it to come. I really want it to. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.